The smell of grease and gasoline clung to the air like an old memory inside Leo Martin's humble auto repair shop, tucked on the edge of a sleepy town. The metal roll-up door squeaked on its hinges every morning as Leo tugged it open by hand. It was a sound he'd grown so used to. It felt like the bell that marked the beginning of his real day. A solitary man in his late 30s, Leo had grease permanently etched into the lines of his hands, and kindness quietly worn into his soul. He wasn't just good with engines, he listened to them, felt them. While other mechanics swapped parts, Leo healed cars. He was the kind of man who would work on your vehicle for free if you couldn't afford it, and still add a full tank of gas out of his own pocket. But despite his reputation among the locals, Leo lived paycheck to paycheck. His father had once been a brilliant inventor whose unfinished prototypes still collected dust in the back room. Leo never got to go to college, learned everything by hand, from books, and from failing repeatedly. His dream of doing more with his life sat beneath the layers of oil-stained rags and piles of unpaid bills. It was a slow Tuesday morning when the car pulled into the shop. Not just any car, a sleek, custom-made, black and black Rolls-Royce Phantom. Leo's eyes widened. Such a vehicle didn't belong in a town like theirs, let alone in front of his garage. He instinctively wiped his hands on his coveralls and stepped forward. The driver stepped out first. He was a man in a black suit and earpiece security, clearly. And then she stepped out. Veronica Hale, billionaire tech mogul, founder and CEO of Hale Corp, the largest AI robotics firm in the country. Everyone knew her face from magazine covers and business shows. But she didn't step out with confidence. She was holding the door for someone else. A girl, maybe 8 or 9, pale skin, soft brown curls, and trembling legs clinging to titanium braces. Her eyes were downcast as she struggled to step down from the car. Leo could feel something inside him tighten. Her face looked more lost than in pain, but the burden she carried on her tiny frame was immense. We were told you might be able to help, Veronica said, her tone a strange mix of hope and pride. Not with the car, with her. Leo blinked. Ma'am? My daughter, Iris. Her condition is neurological. It's the best doctors, the best therapists. Nothing has worked, I was told. Unconventional. That you fix things others. Can't. Leo was about to speak when Iris stumbled slightly. Instinctively, he rushed forward and caught her. She looked up, eyes wide, not afraid, but shocked. He gently steadied her and offered a smile. You okay? He asked. She nodded barely. Veronica stepped forward. She was in an accident. Her father's plane went down 3 years ago. He didn't make it. She did, but not without damage. No one thought she'd survive. When she did, she couldn't move her legs. The nerves were ... disconnected, they said. Leo swallowed. I'm sorry. I've hired neuroscientists, bioengineers, therapists, even AI-assisted exosuits. Nothing helps. And then someone sent me this. She pulled out an old, torn blueprint. Leo's eyes widened. Recognized it instantly. It was one of his father's. Where did you get that? Veronica hesitated. A man who said he knew your father said the man was a genius, and that if anyone could make it real, it would be his son. Leo studied the paper. It was a design for a neural frequency converter, an experimental device his father believed could bridge damaged nerves with artificial motion. It had never worked. Or at least. Leo never finished it. You're asking me to build this. For her? He asked quietly. Veronica's voice cracked. I'm asking you to give me my daughter back. He looked at Iris. She said nothing. But her eyes, those eyes held a glimmer, just a spark of something not dead. Maybe not hope, but something like it. Leo took a deep breath. I'll try, he said. What followed were the strangest weeks of Leo's life. His dusty back room, cluttered with his father's journals and half-built devices, became the headquarters of something sacred. He stopped taking other clients, Veronica paid him more money than he'd ever seen, but he refused to work for. Profit, this is personal, he said. She didn't argue. Asterisk day and night, Leo pored over the designs. Iris sat in the shop, sometimes sketching, sometimes just watching him. Slowly, she started to talk. About music, about her father, about how silence scared her. Leo told her stories about old cars and how they speak to those who listen. She laughed the first time he said that. It was the first time he heard her laugh. Asterisk, he custom-built the harness. Modifying his father's concept using salvaged parts and new neural gel conductors, he engineered himself. The idea wasn't to force her to walk, but to retrain her brain to believe she could. A mechanical translator of thought into micro-motion, asterisk, all the while, the media caught wind of the project. Billionaire turns to small-town mechanic to heal. Daughter read one headline. Crowds began to gather. Some laughed, some prayed. Leo ignored them all. Only Iris mattered. Asterisk, when the device was finally ready, Veronica stood in the corner of the shop, shaking. Leo looked at Iris, who was strapped in, her legs trembling. You don't have to, he told her. She looked up at him, her voice small but sure. I want to try. Asterisk, the world seemed to stop as Leo activated the machine. A soft hum filled the room. Iris's legs stiffened. Then, like something out of a miracle, one foot moved. Then the other, unsteady, robotic, but hers. Iris gasped. Asterisk, she took one step, then two. Asterisk, Veronica dropped to her knees, hands over her mouth, tears spilling freely. Leo felt his heart thunder. Iris turned to him. Though she didn't say it, her eyes told him everything. Asterisk, it had worked. He had done the impossible. The miracle wasn't just in the machine, it was in the belief, the faith, the stubborn hope that broken things aren't always meant to stay broken. Asterisk, as the crowd outside erupted in cheers and disbelief. Veronica clutched Leo's hand. Asterisk, how did you do this? She whispered. Asterisk. Leo looked at Iris. She did it, he said. She believed. Asterisk, and that was only the beginning. The days after Iris took her first steps inside that dusty garage were a blur of emotions, media frenzy, and cautious hope. News. Vans camped outside the shop. Reporters begged for interviews. Headlines screamed about miracles, technology, and the mysterious mechanic who achieved what medicine could not. Some called it a hoax, others called it divine. But to Leo, it wasn't about the fame. It was about the little girl who now smiled at her own reflection, standing tall without trembling. Asterisk, Veronica tried to shield her daughter from the storm. But the world wanted to see the billionaire girl who walked again, the man who made it happen. He offered Leo millions to sell the design. Tech firms flooded him with contracts, and powerful CEOs promised him labs, teams, and everything he'd never had before. But Leo stayed grounded. Asterisk, this wasn't made to be sold, he said in every interview. This was made for Iris. Asterisk, still, Veronica knew the potential of what he'd created. This wasn't just about one child, it could help thousands. Millions. She proposed launching a new branch under Hale Corp, one dedicated solely to Leo's device. She wanted him as the lead inventor, the face of the project, title, a team, and a future built on his name. Asterisk, Leo hesitated. It was everything he ever dreamed of. Yet every time he looked at Iris, he remembered why he started this in the first place. Not for success, not for recognition, but for her. Asterisk, meanwhile, Iris was changing. The one silent girl now laughed with the mechanics in the shop, helped Leo, organized tools, and even drew blueprints of her own inventions in a little pink notebook. Her body was growing stronger with each passing day. She no longer needed the full harness, only a small neural relay brace to stabilize her. The final goal, Leo promised, was for her to walk freely, no devices at all. Her brain just needed time, but the pressure was mounting. One evening, Leo came back to the shop and found Veronica pacing with her assistant. She held a contract in hand, an offer from a military contractor worth over $100 million. Asterisk, they want the design, she said, her eyes intense. They say it could help injured soldiers walk again. It can protect your name, keep you involved, But they will take this, Leo. They'll fund everything. Asterisk Leo felt his stomach tighten. What do they really want? Asterisk Veronica hesitated. The prototype, the blueprint, the neural interface. Asterisk, they'll weaponize it, he said quietly. They'll strip it down for tech and turn it into another tool for control. Asterisk, I know, she admitted. But if we say no, they'll bury it. We can't fight this alone. We need them. Asterisk Leo looked over at Iris, sitting on the hood of a car, reading a book. I didn't do this for them. I did it for her. Asterisk Veronica's voice cracked, and help me protect her, hand help. Others like her. Asterisk the next day, while the world argued over Leo's device, Iris faced her own battle. A charity gala was being hosted in her honor, an event filled with celebrities. Doctors, CEOs, and high society people who had once written off the girl embraces. Veronica wanted her to speak. Iris, terrified, refused. Asterisk, what if I fall? She asked Leo. Asterisk, he crouched beside her, and will help you back up. The whole world will see what real strength looks like. Asterisk, that night, Iris wore a silver dress with soft white shoes and no mechanical harness. Only a tiny interface patch at the base of her spine helped her stay upright. As she stepped on stage with the room watching her in awe, silence fell. Her voice trembled at first, but then grew stronger. Asterisk. The crowd erupted in applause. Leo stood at the back, tears in his eyes. He didn't need to be on that stage. She was the miracle, but not everyone celebrated. Later that night, Veronica found Leo outside near the valet. They've given me a deadline, she said. If we don't sign, they'll file a patent challenge and claim your father's designs were public domain. We'll lose everything. Leo sighed. Let them come. I'm not giving it to people who don't care about the ones it's meant for. Veronica looked at him, then quietly handed him an envelope. Then take this, Iris and I, you created. Something together. Our own foundation. Clinic, fully funded, under her name. No strings. Just a place where children like her can come, and we want you to run it. He opened the envelope. Inside were keys, land deeds, permits all ready to go. But I'm just a mechanic, he whispered. No, she smiled. You're a miracle worker. The next few months were a new kind of blur. Leo's tiny garage was replaced by the Iris. Hal Rehabilitation Center, a place where technology met kindness. Kids rolled in on wheelchairs and walked out with fire in their eyes. Leo trained a small team, taught them to see beyond machines, to listen like he did. As for Iris, she walked, more freely, every day. One morning, she raced across the clinic garden, laughing as she shouted, "You can't catch me, Leo." He chased after her, slower, out of breath, but full of joy. Veronica watched from a bench nearby, tears running freely. You didn't just give me my daughter, she whispered to herself. You gave her back to the world, and the world noticed. Slowly, more doctors asked to study the device under non-profit use. Foundations partnered, schools brought children. The miracle wasn't just in one machine. It was in the man who refused to sell it. A year later, Leo stood at a press conference. Not a tech hall, not a gala, just outside the clinic, surrounded by the kids he helped and the families he healed. I'm not a scientist, he began. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy who listened to an engine and heard a little girl crying inside it. I made her a promise. I wouldn't stop until she ran again, and she did. Iris ran into his arms then. The moment was caught on camera, and it wasn't shared by marketing firms or media giants. It was shared by people. Millions. The world watched and believed again in something bigger than profits.